How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the Totaku Summoned Skull figure. So looking closer at the face, I feel that they've really captured the likeness of the character. Looks really good from all angles, and then the expression is really good as well. Has a lot of anger and strength to it. And the sculpt is really nicely sculpted and well detailed as well. And that's for the whole head as well. And then the horns themselves has the nice texturing and shape. And then even has a really nice darker wash to really bring out the sculpt and details. But I will say there is a seam line that runs across the back of his head, but it's not too noticeable because of the wash. Down to his torso, his chest is really nicely sculpted for the most part, but I will say this side does look a bit smaller to his ribs on the other side, so it does look a bit distracting, but it's not really super noticeable. But it does have really nice sculpt work going on. It's really nicely detailed and it has a lot of nice layers as well. And that's the same for the spine as well. And just like the head, there's a nice wash that goes through the whole torso, really brings out all the bone sculpt. And that's the same for the shoulders. You can see that they look really weird and really battle damaged as well, with all the dents and creases. And then the wash really does help bring out the details. But there is a bit of a seam line that runs through both shoulders, but again, they're not super noticeable. And then underneath the bone structure, you have the actual meat of the character. It's really well sculpted and has a really nice texturing, and then the muscle definition is really effective as well. Just so much detail packed into all the muscles and meat areas. And it even has the darker wash as well, so it really brings out the veins and the texturing of the muscles. Looks really nice and effective. The hands are nicely sculpted, nice use of the bone sculpting, and then the fingers have nicely sculpted as well. They are slightly more glossy compared to the rest of the body, so they do stand out. And again, the wash continues throughout the whole hand, and that's the same for this hand as well. Then you have the bone structure that continues down to his legs. Again, nicely sculpted and detailed. And then the actual legs again. Just so much detail going on. Nice use of the bone and then the organic material underneath. Looks really effective. And again, the wash continues all the way down to his feet. And overall, it just looks really effective. And then finally, you have his wings, which are nice and clean and are really well sculpted. And because they're painted in pretty much just a bold blue, it makes for a really nice contrast compared to the rest of his body. But again, they still have some nice shading going on between the folds of the wings. Looks really nice. And then the blue has a semi-glossy and metallic shine to them as well, so they look really effective. And then the spikes at the top are painted as well, but they do kind of bleed a bit into the blue, so they're not super clean. And then the stand itself has the nice Egyptian engravings, really reminiscent from the series that the character's from. Looks really nice. And then the bottom, you just have some legal stuff. So overall, I actually feel this is one of the best looking Totaku figures. Despite his complicated design and his small scale, they still managed to pack so much detail into such a small figure, and it's just a really accurate representation of the character. There are a few gripes that I have with the figure, such as the seam lines that kind of run across the top of his head, across his shoulders, and then there are some seam lines that run down his wings as well. But because of how detailed the sculpt is and how effective the wash is on this figure, they're not really that noticeable, so it's very minor gripes. And I guess my main gripe would be that, as far as I know, the Totaku line is mainly focused on video game characters, and as far as I'm aware, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Summoned Skull is a manga original character, so I'm not too sure why Summoned Skull got made into a Totaku figure. If you know why, please tell me in the comments below, but as of now I'm not too sure why they made this character, but it doesn't mean that it's not a nice looking figure, because it is, and it is a really nice accurate representation of the character. And if you're a fan of this character or the series that he's from, then I can still recommend this figure. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.